let's hear from the panelists on discussion of Malaysia as the leading global halal hub with an export of over 35.4 billion annually. So it gave me great pleasure to pass the floor to Mr. Rene. Mr. Rene, over to you.
Assalamualaikum and good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for the introduction, Alif, and thanks for being here as a moderator today. I have a wonderful panel of now 3 panelists here, Miss Amna, Miss Lisa, and Dr. Iskandar. We will be discussing on the matters around halal and blockchain, but you mentioned quite nicely, Alif, this term of a global halal hub, right? And we have here in Malaysia this Halal Development Corporation, which is a government agency, right? Which was set up in 2006 to position Malaysia as a global halal hub and to accelerate the development of the halal industry worldwide. Then its objective is not only to be recognized as the not only to be recognized as the prime location for halal trade by Malaysian citizens, but by the global population, and to create a reference point for halal, and even to improve the lives of Muslims all over the world. So before we dive into the discussion, just a few bit of fun facts or number facts about halal. Actually, around 1/4 of the world's population is Muslims. Yes, and 61% of all the halal market worldwide is food items, but we have 26% pharmaceuticals, 11% cosmetics, and other products. So halal is not only about food. And another interesting thing, Malaysian exports of halal products contributed between 5 and 10% to the country's total exports, and the top destinations of Malaysia's halal exports were not the Muslim nations of the world, but it was the US, China, Singapore, the Netherlands, Japan, and other nations. So having done this little introduction about the significance of halal, let's move into blockchain and halal. And now coming towards my wonderful panelists, maybe they can introduce themselves within a minute or less each, and then we go towards the first questions to you guys. Can I go with the ladies first? Maybe Miss Amna first?
Oh, Alhamdulillah, thank you so much. Assalamualaikum, everyone. My name is Amna Shari. I'm from Serunai Commerce. Our company concentrates fully on the big data and full traceability, and just we use blockchain. Yeah, and I would like to say that we connect all the halal players together with the halal certification bodies globally. There's hundreds out there. The one that recognized by Malaysia itself are Jakima, 84 out there. But believe it or not, there's more than 300 over certification body in the world. And of course, the public can check the app and so on and so forth. So that's my job, big data. Thank you, Rene.
Okay. Yes, thank you, Amna. Okay. What about you, Lisa? Who are you, and what is your role in this blockchain or halal world?
Hi, everyone. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Who am I? It sounds so scary. First of all, I lead IntelliOS solution. What we do is developer. So I'm completely on the technical side. I don't deal with the stakeholders directly, but we are the back wire of the blockchain system. Thank you.
The back wire. Okay. Hopefully you can hear later a bit more about that. Okay. Thank you, Lisa. Okay. And Dr. Iskandar, same to you. Who are you? What are you doing? We saw you a bit earlier already in this session, but please reiterate.
Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Okay, my name is Muhammad Iskandar Ilyastan. Okay, I'm an academics at University Technology Malaysia, currently serving for Azman Hashim International Business School. I've been with UTM for more than 20 years now. And at the same time, so when I talk about university, part of my job is teaching, doing research, and now we are venturing into commercialization. So when I talk about commercialization, my focus is more on developing solution for halal industry, looking at innovations, technology, and nowadays we are venturing into the fourth industrial revolution technology, for example, like artificial intelligence, IoT, and also blockchain. So we start first with research and development, and now we, back in 2015, we create a spin-off company from UTM that is called Holistic Labs Nirberhad, and nowadays we are commercializing, few of our research outcome, for example, like Quick Halal Academy, as well as My Halal Gig. So we have various different kind of clients, okay, either in Malaysia and also throughout Japan, Korea, and other different kind of countries. So we are hoping that most of the research that we conduct in university can penetrate the industry, specifically for halal industry. Yep. Inshallah.
Yes, oh, inshallah. And you are based in Medini Iskandar, a wonderful place.
Yes. Yep.
Nice. Okay. Yes. So thanks for the introduction. I heard we have our fourth panelist, Dr. Farouk, joining in any minute. So once he comes in, here he is. Doc, yes, here you are, Dr. Farouk. Just to introduce, we were looking for our last panelist and he made it then with a little delay. Yes, thanks that you did. We are just in the introduction session. Are you ready to introduce who are you and what's your relevance to the blockchain or halal sectors? I see you are plugging in, isn't it? Are you free to introduce yourself? Dr. Farouk. If you're not ready, then we further go with the first questions first. Can you hear us well? Is everything okay?
Yes.
Okay. Yes, the question would be, who are you and what role do you play in the halal or blockchain industry, please?
So, okay, I'm Dr. Farouk Habib. I'm co-founder of Aleph Technologies and Sharia Experts in London. And we provide consultancy, advisory, platform development, and educational programs and corporate trainings. I have been in the Islamic finance since my whole life, I can say. And since 2016, I have been focusing on fintech, crypto, blockchain. So I have been involved in various blockchain-based projects since then. And I think that this technology is something which we can share with the masses, and it can basically bring us shared prosperity and economic sustainability.
Wow, what strong words, share prosperity. Wow. Yes. Allow me to bridge into the first question now. What aspects do you think can halal be enhanced in when we use blockchain technology? Like, what can blockchain do for halal? How can halal apply blockchain? The very general thing here to set the stage right. And I would like to, let's start with yourself, Farouk, and then we go through the ladies towards Dr. Iskandar.
Yeah, sure. So basically, many people ask me the question that whether blockchain technology itself is halal or not. Not a single day passes and then people asking me this question. Although they are also related to cryptocurrencies, but I'm not going to into that direction, rather than focusing on this, the theme of this panel discussion. So blockchain as a technology itself is Sharia compliant. In fact, Sharia encourages us to use innovative ideas within the boundaries of Sharia to basically bring something which is beneficial for the whole society. So in that sense, I think that blockchain is basically, as a technology, is halal. There are few concerns regarding smart contracts actually and the decentralized applications which run on blockchain. But again, those technologies are also halal in their nature, but we need to look at that, what is the purpose and what is the usage of those technology. If that can be basically halal or haram both. Now, coming back to your question that how we can use blockchain in the halal industry. So I think that there are so many aspects. The two major sectors which can benefit within the halal economy from blockchain technology are food industry, cosmetics. That is one. And second one is Islamic finance. So I can see that there is a lot of we can do through blockchain technology for Islamic finance, for example, like KYC, digital identity, and then the transactions themselves also can be done through blockchain. In the halal food industry, I can see that like we can use it for the traceability.
Okay, yeah, traceability is another big keyword, of course, yes. Okay, thanks for that introduction. What do you think about this? What can blockchain do for halal, Ms. Amna?
Oh, I agree completely with Farouk. in our industry, what I'm doing now, because certification bodies and companies, there's a lot of processes to be traced. And then unfortunately, there's a lot of fake issues, as you know. Yeah, they fake the certificate, they fake the company, and so on and so forth, because halal is not forever, yeah, Renee, as you know. Some are given 1 year, 2 year, or 3 years certification, and after that, they got to renew it. Like Farooq said, the digital ID, the processes, and so on and so forth, we need to connect these processes in order to make sure that they will not be able to tamper with it, yeah? And therefore, we do verifying halal. In fact, we have the global app for that. So from there, the data is authentic. So yes, for me, but not all of what we use is blockchain, but we marry blockchain into what the system that we have today. So that's what I do. Renee, over to you.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Okay, thank you. Yes, Lisa, if you can please give your insight on what can blockchain technology do for the halal sector. Where is the best angle here?
Okay, from my side, I must say, amongst all on the floor, I can be the newest in this particular area, because blockchain, for the one that in particularly my organization is serving for, is not limited to halal alone. So having said that, I'm just going to curb my conversation only for halal. So one thing that is very critical is really the cross-contamination. So this thing is critical in a layman term, like by hook, by crook, you have to get it blockchain, because the supply chain itself, the certification is a no-brainer. I guess everybody can appreciate that. They see the logo halal everywhere. And at the same time, they may or may not believe in the logo anymore. Okay, so that's another thing. And at this point, it's a make-believe, I would say. Many of them presumably think this way. So I would like to tackle more on the certification of the halal executive. So this actually is a big scope of job creation, unlimited to Malaysia and unlimited to English speaker, Malay speaker, Arabic speaker. It goes beyond, because our halal market goes all the way until China, Japan, and so on. So we are talking about job creation of potentially Muslim. I guess it's supposed to be Muslim, right? For halal executive that are multilingual. So job creation is big magnitude of creation can be done over there. But the cross-contamination, I guess that's the critical issue, where most of the, be it a food or cosmetic, I think cosmetic will be lesser, but food especially, because it's very sensitive, whereby the big players loses their revenues. So with blockchain, that can be resolved immediately. So I guess the criticality over there is really on the logistic of it and the cross-contamination of it. That's my point of view.
Okay, yeah, interesting point. Of course, I fully agree. Yes, sure. Let us now check what the academic has to say. Dr. Iskandar, yes, is this valid points what our friends said here?
Yeah, okay. Of course, I've agreed with all of them, right? But at the same time, we need to understand about the fundamental of halal industry and also the halal certification itself. So one of the important points about halal certification is about integrity, right? So when I talk about integrity, everything from farm to fork need to be maintained. Okay, so when I talk about halal, every single chain need to be halal. Okay, so I think this is one of the biggest challenges when I talk about supply chain, how to maintain, okay, this every point of chain is totally halal, okay, to maintain the integrity. So of course, when I talk about blockchain is actually one of the technology that we can apply. There are also other different kind of technology that we can integrate within the halal industry. But looking from the point of view of blockchain, there are two. Of course, since we are discussing about blockchain, two important point. It's about the smart contract. Also about the DLT. So the distributed ledger technology. So if I can suggest the application of these two different kind of sub technology within blockchain is the first one in terms of smart contract. It I think it can streamline, okay, the halal certification process. So there are various different kind of stages, and within these different kind of stages, it can trigger different important transaction. For example, if you talk about invoices, payment, inventory, so on and so forth. And at the same time, for each one of these trigger need to comply to various different kind of halal standards, manual, and also references. So in Malaysia itself, okay, we have 13 different kind of halal standard coming from Department of Standards, as well as the manual, okay, manual procedure Pensijilan Halal Malaysia coming from JAKIM. So that is talking about smart contract alone. And when talk about the second part, which is the distributed ledger technology, this is important in terms of try to validate as well as verify the supplier of the halal certificate. So as mentioned by Amnah just now, okay, we have 84 different kind of recognized, okay, halal certification bodies all over the world. So we want to make sure that these are the one that will be recognized by JAKIM, okay, and also collaborate with the international certification bodies. And on top of that, we also have the halal professional board certificates, which enforce company who wants to apply for halal have the competent, okay, halal professional within the organization. So this certificate can also apply under the distributed ledger technology. So that's it from me.
Yeah, very good. You're bringing the international aspect in for the international cooperation through the ledger of integrity. Even integrity is another good keyword you brought forward, and that is what blockchain is at least supposed to do. Yes. Okay, now coming to another point, there are challenges, right? I know especially Amna has been working in this sector already for several years, right? You are one of the pioneers in this sector actually. And now there are challenges in implementing the blockchain technology for the halal industry. And I would like to hear your views or your thoughts on Malaysia's readiness and on the possible stumbling blocks, possibly even adoption strategies, how to overcome these stumbling blocks, to bring the focus now towards Malaysia and what's the problem and how do we solve it. Can I please give it back to Amna first?
Oh, okay. You asked a tough question to me.
Yeah, how to get out of this situation, how to make it happen.
Yeah, in my opinion, you know, when it comes to blockchain, everybody has to participate. You cannot be in your own cave, technically, you know. Together, especially in halal. I think I agree completely with Dr. Iskandar just now that, you know, to not in Malaysia itself, the custom, the different department, the licensing department, not only JAKIM, KPDN, HEP, and many more, they have to integrate and they have to share the data or the specification or the validity or whatever it is, or the approval together, because halal is complex. I do not want to make it as though takut, you know, you're afraid of halal. No, but we are talking about blockchain. Therefore, the participant of the blockchain must play their role as well. Okay, and they should agree. There must be a monitoring body also to monitor it. Yeah, because these are the authority from custom, from KPDN, HEP, JAKIM, and so on and so forth. So it is a complex thing. I do not know how to solve it. Maybe Dr. or Farouk or Nolisa can say something. But
sure.
Until the time where the government is, I know the government is serious about blockchain, but until that the specific area of halal, they see it, they really want to solve it, like my Sejahtera, you see, everybody are required to use my Sejahtera, and every time you go anywhere, you are required or you be fined. I think only when that arrives, and then we are in a good position. So the commitment is how far the government is really committed. Over to you, Rene.
Yeah, perhaps to make something compulsory, as you mentioned now with my Sejahtera, yeah. But okay, thanks for these viewpoints. On the academic side, on this one, something maybe back to you, Dr. Iskandar, like on the question of the challenges, particularly in Malaysia. Is it regulatory? Is it the appetite of the governments? Or is it maybe end consumer hesitations in innovation technology? Do you see any challenges and possible adoption strategies to overcome?
Okay, all right. Thank you, Rene. I would like to restrict myself from the academic point of view, because if I go into that route, it will take several hours. I'm not going to discuss about all those different kind of theory, because Amna mentioned just now about the readiness. So we have the technology accepted models, UTAP, blah, 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 and so on and so forth, because this is actually what we've been doing from the university in terms of conducting research. So looking at technology, actually there are various different kind of technology. Okay, so now we have 4IR. Okay, after this we also have 5RL and so on and so forth. Okay, so I think this cycle of discussion will go over and over and over again, right? So, but looking at the challenges that we have, okay, the first thing that I would like to highlight is about, okay, it's not just because of the new technology, okay, because of it is sexy and also trendy, so we need to focus everything on that part. Okay, right. So the thing is that we need to look in terms of the value, okay, of the technology that can provide, okay, to the stakeholder and also the user. So Amna have been doing, okay, lots of, okay, systems and also solution, which is, I think, correct. If I'm not wrong, Amna, okay, there are not many people who are focusing in this area. Okay, so I know Amna from Surunai, and there are only few other things. Okay, I hope that there will be more people who are venturing into technology that can focus on halal industry. And again, looking at the second challenges is in terms of how to implement the right system towards this different kind of halal stakeholder. So as mentioned by Amna just now, we have more than 9. Okay, we are talking about that halal meat cartel, okay, issues that we have. Unfortunately, in Johor, which I stay now, right? So we have more than 9 different kind of agency coming from JAKIM, coming from Custom, coming from Markis. So even to coordinate these various different kind of agency will also becoming a challenges. Okay, and the final one is try to get the buy-in from this different kind of stakeholder. So we have at least 9 different kind of stakeholder, and how to get their good response. The thing is that when I talk about technology, there are some people who love technology, and some people, even though they love technology, they somehow resist the application of technology within their professional work. Okay, so this is also how to persuade, pujuk, how to get them on board, okay, with the implementation of the technology. And looking back at Fatah, okay, session earlier, he did mention that, okay, it's not really about the problem of technology, but the problem about implementation, regulation, and other different kind of things. So I think that's it coming from me.
Yeah. Okay, so what else is there for us to ask? Lisa, what is entertaining her so much, please?
Well, everything he said was really on point. I can already have the mental imagination of when you hear the whole picture is so strenuous that, you know, it's very hard to tackle. But maybe I cannot take all. But I definitely agree. I guess everybody on the floor have the same thinking already. We are here. Even hearing it is a duty for us to resolve. Okay. If you ask me as a technologist, why would I choose something difficult? I can still get money anywhere else, but because of the call of duty as a Muslim and knowing the knowledge, if I don't do it, oh my God, I'm so answerable. Okay. And again, as I mentioned, I'm a newbie in this area, and I would like to refrain from representing the halal expert down here, because I insist myself being a technology side. But I see a lot of things. For example, on the okay, let me just comment first. I like to answer directly to what Dr. Iskandar raised, especially on the players. I do agree. Too many players we need for this purpose. What you call this? Of course, like I mentioned, even for the logistics itself, you are to cater for inland, air freight, sea freight, I mean. And then of course the warehouses, every abattoir, you can imagine the amount of abattoir. And if you are talking about just a certification, the supply chain, we are talking about just imagine, yeah, a piece of chicken cut into 8. You are talking about tracing 8 pieces of that particular chicken. Oh, it's crazy. But yes, we want to contribute, we want to do it, but as a new player, I would like to highlight the fact that we are scared. Okay, we are scared because all the big boys, the big players up there, we are not sure whether we should also come into the picture, because halal, beyond word of food and being clean and so on, is also money. When there's money, there's many people wanting to do it, and we are damn scared whether or not, because we are, especially from my side, we are the technical side. Okay, we want to run away from any sort of argument or conflict. So if we feel like there's already people at the front doing something, okay, go ahead, you just do it, all right? But if you cannot, you can always come to us. That's one thing to address in terms of not enough player. But again, if we embrace more people, I do believe, and myself, I would like to advocate more startup to cater, because every startup can actually bring another big group of programmers. We are talking about tons of programmers right now. We have so many people talking about regulation, many people talking about plannings on a blueprint, and everything is so complete. But really, who is going to do it? My question. All right.
Yeah,
So that is one thing. Okay. And then another one talking about people. I don't want to talk about the regulatories as in like how you are going to coordinate. I leave that to the expert. let the expert deal with them. Okay. But how do we actually instill the appreciation towards this technology when you cannot see it, especially at the end user side or the consumer side? So here, I would like to suggest actually from my side as a software development company, we like to study a lot on the human behavior, how they can actually respond to certain kind of new things that you want to introduce. So my point is, for example, give it to a makcik lah. Does a makcik word relate to you? Okay, cool. Okay. So how can a makcik really appreciate, they look at the apps, it's like, so what? Is it true or not? So let us correlate with something that everybody can relate to. For example, we are talking about the advancement of logistics. Nowadays, the courier services, they actually put you point to point where it travels from, what time it arrives, what time it departed from where. That idea of being able to see is good enough for the end consumer to believe in your solution. Not being able to produce that and just talk, it will be a challenge for you to make the public, which is the people, to understand. So let's also look into that area, how we can actually tackle on the consumer side. So I guess I kind of cater on two sides, but another one more that I would like to also point out from the perspective of engineering, processing, throughput, and so on. When you want to introduce something, because you want to put blockchain, so naturally you have to scan here and there, beep. So you are introducing one more additional process in the existing process. So what happens is that you are abrupting the throughput. So when you're talking about throughput, the boss will be angry, the throughput become lower, right? The production usually you have so much now reduced by 20% because of additional process along the way. And then how can we reduce, we definitely have to have to insert these additional processes. So two things that we can help here from the technology part is that as simple as QR code itself, all right? Because even though I'm on the top level, I'm also doing the ground job. It's like I'm doing from up to down. So I know exactly how to get things done. So I can tell you right away, even the QR code, the blocks, right? The busier the block, it take longer time for you to snap. So you design a way that your digits or whatever hash that you have to be simpler. Then you have a lesser, busier blocks, and the snapping time, the processing time can be faster. So that is another thing. Please think about it. Be it myself or anyone else doing it, let us do the same thing, so that it gives more ease for the people down there at the line who's going to use your thing, And at the same time, when you don't incur, the abruption that is put into the flow, the whole process is less affected. Like, for example, you just like, okay, because of hybrid blockchain, now we are lesser by 5%, the throughput. I think it's reasonable. People can still accept it, but not so much. So those are the things that, the challenges, I guess, on the perspective of technology. Back to you.
Yeah. Okay. Very good points. Yes, and thank you for the little technical advice to keep the data set small so that the resolution of the QR code doesn't need to be too dense. Yes, I got you. Okay, but Farouk, now coming to you, because you are a truly international halal practitioner, technologist, blockchain, crypto expert. Because we here in Malaysia, we want to innovate, we want to build this, but we don't need to reinvent things which possibly other countries already have built, and we can, let's say, take that as a base, develop based on that, and then interlink, because as we all agree, we need to internationally cooperate anyhow. So we don't want to have a solution which only Malaysia runs and does not link to the world. What can you tell us about solutions from other countries? Have you seen something which is noteworthy for us to, learn from others, to implement good practices and good approaches? I would like to hear from you on that side.
Yeah, I think that Malaysia has a very nice and cautious approach in terms of first, they would like to actually get things which are already tested and are already basically trusted upon. But there are few other countries which basically would like to take the pride in being the first in the world. So for example, UAE. So I think that both approaches are very good because some of them are aggressive, some of them are passive, but both the approaches work. So if you look at the UAE, so many things are happening at the moment right now. We have seen some of the projects which are actually talking to the governments and municipalities so that they can bring in some halal products in terms of on blockchain for all the sectors of the halal economy. And then there is something but the problem is not the technology itself. Similar thing goes for Turkey, and also I am talking to some of the people in Brazil. For example, if you know that Brazil is the largest country for exporting meat to the GCC, the Muslim world. So because of that, I am also talking to them, some of the players there. The problem is not the technology, because what I have seen is technology has been always one step ahead of what we are thinking. So that even if you look at the mobile phone right now, so it's the technology in the mobile phone, it's already being pretty much advanced. We are just using 10 or 20% of the features of our mobile phones. The rest of the features, we just brag upon it that, okay, we have this and we have that. So now coming back, what was the problem and the challenges? I see that it's basically coming from the consumer side and from the market players. I can tell you one of the market player I was talking to, and he was saying that we do not need blockchain technology, for example, because when we say that this is already organic, the food is already organic, for example, people trust us. So they did not check. So I think that there is a consumer awareness has to be done. I think this is changing, but because of this change, I think the market players' mindset should also change, because otherwise they will go obsolete. They will not be able to do the business because consumer will want every piece of information there. Now, and then what Malaysia can learn from this whole international phenomena, I think that Malaysia has a very good potential in that sense, because we have seen that digital identity has been done. Even back in 2017, I was working on a project where you can actually tell with IoT devices and through blockchain, with a combination of these, that how many steps a chicken has taken in its lifetime, how many heartbeats, for example, and what was the geographical location of that chicken. So that was already being done in the 2016 and 17, by the way. So it's not 2021. So the technology is already there. And the interesting part of it was that the market players do not have to bear a lot of cost for that. It was just 5 to 10% of their actual cost right now. So with the addition of 5 to 10% cost, they will be able to get access to a huge information about the chicken or cow or whatever food it is, that whether it is organic, where it was in the whole lifetime, whether it got a fever in its lifetime or not, how many vaccination it had got, everything. So these kind of things were basically already have been developed. So, and then they were very cheap, by the way. It's not very huge amount.
Where are these solutions? Sorry to interrupt, because we need to slowly wrap up. We have another 3 minutes. Just where are these solutions? Why didn't they happen?
Why didn't it happen? Because even the market players are still trying to buy some time, so that because 5% or 10% cost is still a big saver for them. So because of that, they are still trying to save and delay the process. But when the consumer push will come in, then they have to encourage. Technology is ready.
So then we need to make the consumers want this and promote it to them, possibly. I don't know whether this is.
That's why, because like, for example, Alif Technologies and with my companies, what we are focusing on is more on consumer awareness, more on educational programs, corporate trainings and workshops. And I think that universities and other market players, regulators can also play a very big role in actually educating the consumer, so that like the push is coming from the market demand side. And then of course, like the supply side can be easy.
Yeah. Okay, good. Thanks for this input. I see that we have another question from the floor. How far is Malaysia from implementing halal blockchain and or halal traceability? Like, how far is Malaysia from it? I don't know, maybe we just ask for years. Is it 1, 5 or 10? Like once we see, when do we see this live introduction working? Amna and co. Anybody want to shout some numbers?
Of course, I work with the government very closely, especially the JAKIM and other government department. Well, frankly, with the MCO and everything and the change of government, my sincere apology. So I think it could be, but it is near. The thought has been done, it is discussed in parliament. So this is an exciting time, but the actual implementation, you ask me when, I don't know, but in my gut feeling could be 2 years down the road, if they are serious, because look at Max Sejahtera, they want to do it, it's done.
Yeah.
Maybe Dr. Iskandar have a different perception.
Yes. Yes. What number do you put here? So.
All right. Okay. Talking about how far are we? The thing is that, to be honest, we've been heard a lot about the initiative. From various different kind of people. They say that they already have Halal blockchain. They promote it. In the internet, saying that they already have the solution. But at the same time, up until now, we can really see the true applications. Of this blockchain technology within the halal industry, specifically for Malaysia. But at the same time, I would like to look in terms of another point of perspective. For example, if you talk about China. China is a country whereby if they want to implement something like that. So they already have, when talk about halal certification is quite similar to food safety. And also traceability, all those kind of things. In China, for example, they already have a blockchain application for pig farm. So they want to make sure that how safe, how clean, of the pig, from the slaughtering up until the retail store. So they already have that. So the thing is that whether we want to develop a new solution or try to adapt or try to adopt the existing solution. When talk about supply chain, they already have supply blockchain for supply chain. So which approach that we want to do? Is it coming from scratch or try to adopt from the existing technology or application? So talking about the years, it depends on our government. So which approach do they want to use? The easier approach or the more expensive approach?
Yeah. But you better don't put an exact number to it. Don't say 5 or 10.
No.
Okay.
I don't want to speculate anything.
Okay, fine. I'd love to hear more, but I'm already getting a signal that we are at the end of our session and we do need to wrap up so that the rest of the show won't be delayed. I think that there's much more to talk about, and I hope that the attendance of this Ignite blockchain session can engage with all of the panelists even after this session. You can find all of us online, obviously. You find our names and contact us there, or you go through our friends from the Medini